Let's rank every single Disney restaurant I've ever eaten at. This is gonna be a long one.
The bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife.
To infinity and beyond!
How's it going, guys? This is Dan here. Welcome back into the channel, and we are going to rank every single Disney World restaurant I've ever eaten at. Every single one. And there's a lot. I'm not going to do a whole in-depth review on every single one because this video then will be like 3 hours long. It's going to be very short reviews of every single one, and yeah, it will give you an idea of what favourite restaurants I love at Disney World. Ones that I will not mention: one, Trattoria Al Forno. I will not be mentioning that because I was invited to that and there's only had breakfast there and it was really short timing. Like, I need to get a proper review of Trattoria Al Forno. California Grill, I was invited to sample some dishes for brunch when I was working at Disney, so didn't have the whole California Grill experience. And thirdly, Chef Mickey's. I worked there by now, actually ate there, so not counting any of those three. Right, number 29 on my list is Rainforest Cafe. Don't like this restaurant really at all. Yeah, there's so many other better places at Walt Disney World. Just really not great food, super loud in there, overpriced. Definitely not my favorite. But as with this whole list, so this might be some people's favorites, some people might be their least favorites. It's just my personal opinion and where I would rank my Disney World restaurants, and Rainforest Cafe down at the bottom. Can't stand it, will never go there again. Bad experience. Yeah, and there's so many other better places to go. Number 28 is Biergarten over in Epcot's Germany Pavilion. Again, I just had a really bad experience. The service was really not that good. The food was cold, even though it was on a buffet, the food was still cold. I felt it was though it was a very authentic experience, I just didn't really enjoy it that much. I just didn't really like it at all. Number 27 on my list is Restaurant Marrakesh. Staying in Epcot, we're heading over to Morocco. Not gonna lie, I don't mind this restaurant. I'd love to try it again. The last time I had it was back in 2012. But again, like the food, considering that we have a lot of Mediterranean food in the UK, I felt this was a big step down on some of the restaurants even in my local area. Like, the spices weren't as prominent as we would get here. I felt like the portions were mediocre. The only good redeeming part of this restaurant is the entertainment, the belly dancers, and yeah, the music's great, the theme is great, but the food really let me down. So Restaurant Marrakesh, number 27. Number 26 is Tony's Town Square restaurant over in Magic Kingdom. This is fine. This is a fine restaurant. It's nothing special for me. It feels like an overpriced Olive Garden. I just find it very sort of samey. You know, it's your chicken parmesans, whatever you call it, your spaghetti and meatballs. It's not very adventurous, I don't think, and I even think the theming could be even updated, and you know, I feel like it's looking quite tired. Nothing special here, in my personal opinion. So yeah, Tony's Town Square, number 26. Number 25 was a big disappointment with me a couple of years ago, and that was Sci-Fi Dine-In over at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Sci-Fi Dine-In, the atmosphere is phenomenal. I love the atmosphere. I love the fact you can sit in these cars and watch these short films, but the food was poor. The food was poor. I just was not pleased with I had burger and fries.
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong.
But this was a couple of years ago. I actually do want to try this again and try and see if it redeems itself. But yeah, I was very, very disappointed with this restaurant. Number 24, surprisingly, is Beaches and Cream. Now, don't get me wrong, the ice cream looks and tastes phenomenal. I think the ice cream is probably some of the best on Disney property. I think the food is mediocre at best. It's quite reasonable though, I do agree, but I think I'll have to give this one another chance as well. But if you just want ice cream, perfect place to go. For an actual restaurant dining experience at Disney, maybe something a bit different. Number 23 is Cape May Cafe. I've only been to Cape May for breakfast. I actually really enjoyed the breakfast, and you get to meet the characters. You meet Goofy, Donald, and Minnie. It was fun. It was fun. The breakfast is your typical Disney breakfast. I would say it's a little bit better than some of the other places because, you know, it's never normally as crowded and as busy as some other places. But I am not a big seafood guy. I really don't like seafood. I almost have I have a phobia to crustacean animals, so it's really a place that I find quite tricky to go to for dinner, so I can only judge it primarily on its breakfast. I actually do like it. I think it's fine. So Cape May Cafe, number 23. But maybe I'll try dinner if I can get over my phobia. Number 22 is 1900 Park Fair. If you love character experiences, if you love meeting Mary Poppins, Winnie the Pooh, Alice in Wonderland, the Mad Hatter, Cinderella, the Stepsisters, Lady Tremaine, Prince Charming, definitely go. It is a wonderful character experience. I've had amazing memories at doing character experiences at 1900 Park Fair. That alone is great. The food is buffet style, nothing crazy food. It's fine. I think you go there for the character experience. You go there to meet Cinderella. You go there to meet Alice and for breakfast. Like, that's what it's there for. For me, as a dining experience, it's good. Number 21, just missing out on top 20, is the Wave at Disney's Contemporary Resort. Now, the reason why I put the Wave at number 21 is because simply I haven't been there all that often. I've been there once for dinner back in 2015, and I don't really remember much of it. I remember having a steak. I remember, you know, the food was actually quite good. It's just never been one of those restaurants where it's drawn me back to it. It didn't make me go, wow, I need to go back. Though I do remember that I had a really nice experience there. Yeah, I'll give the Wave another go. Yeah, that's why it just misses out on my top 20. Number 20 on my list is Crystal Palace over at Magic Kingdom. I really enjoy this restaurant. I think from number 20 upwards, these are restaurants I really, really love and recommend. Crystal Palace is great. This is your typical Disney breakfast. It's great. You're right inside the Magic Kingdom. You can see the castle from the window. You have the omelette bar, which I highly recommend. You got your Mickey waffles, you got your bacon, you got your pastries. You get to meet the Winnie the Pooh gang, Piglet, Eeyore, Tigger. It's fantastic. I say the only thing about this restaurant is that it can get very busy and very loud, but I think the experience as a whole is perfect for a character meal. I haven't tried it for lunch or dinner, and I think I will do at some point. So Crystal Palace, number 20 on my list. Number 19 on my list is an actual surprise, and I think people quite overlook this place as a restaurant place, and that is Splitsville over at Disney Springs. I think Splitsville is some of the best food in Disney Springs, heck, in Disney property. I really do believe that. It's very good quality and for quite a decent price, I would say. Yes, you're dining inside a bowling alley. They take care of you very, very well. I enjoy Splitsville. I definitely recommend it. The only thing that stops me going to Splitsville is that there's so many other restaurants in Disney Springs I'd rather go to. Number 18 is a restaurant I've really grown to enjoy, and that is the Jungle Skipper Canteen over at Magic Kingdom. The theming is unmatched. The theming is great. It all goes back to the SEA, which is obviously the Disney backstory of all these adventurers throughout all the Disney theme parks. It's fantastic. I think the food is very adventurous, being that it's a Jungle Cruise adventure style restaurant. And the most cast members, the most waiters who work there are kind of taking that role from Jungle Cruise, being a little bit witty, bad jokes. I think it's great. The food is actually quite good quality. Maybe a bit expensive, but again, you are dining in the most popular theme park in the world. Number 17 is, I consider, an underrated restaurant, and that is the Grand Floridian Cafe. Now, when you're next to 1900 Park Fair, Narcoossee's, Victoria and Albert's, Grand Floridian Cafe gets kind of a little bit kicked to the wayside, and I think it's an overlooked restaurant, and I think people should totally go and eat there. I went there back in 2015. I had a wonderful meal there. It's bright, it overlooks the rest of the resort. The cast members are lovely there. This is your top quality Disney cast member service you're going to get because you are, dining in the Grand Floridian. It is wonderful. Great food, really reasonable. Definitely check it out for that, because if you don't want to go crazy on price, really great food, good quality, great price. Can't go wrong. Grand Floridian Cafe, number 17. Number 16 on my list is Coral Reef over in Epcot. I actually have done this restaurant a couple of times. I haven't done it for the last 2 years. I think because there was a lot of other restaurants I wanted to try, and I actually do enjoy this restaurant. If you love fish, this is the place to go. But the steak is actually really good there. The steak is really nice there. The mahi-mahi is wonderful. That's what it's kind of known for. You get to sit next to the fish tanks with all the sharks and fish that swim by. It's beautifully themed. It is quite a dark restaurant, like the lighting is a bit dark, but I think it's kind of meant to show that, being that you're in the depths of the ocean, eating and dining. So I would recommend it. Coral Reef is definitely a restaurant I would definitely recommend if you love fish. So yeah, check out Coral Reef, number 16. Number 15, I'm considering this a sit down because they still bring the food to you, and that is the Be Our Guest lunch. I've only done Be Our Guest for lunch. I think the food is fantastic there. I would definitely say out of all the courses of the day, breakfast, lunch and dinner, lunch is the best place to go for Be Our Guest. The signature dining is overpriced, too expensive, you know, not great portion size, whereas the lunch I think is perfect, a great portion, the food is cooked fresh, the experience is phenomenal, the atmosphere is top Disney quality. You can sit either in the West Wing, the ballroom, or kind of that other room with all the paintings. It's fantastic. Number 14 is Kona Cafe. Now, if you asked me a year ago where I put Kona Cafe, I'll put it in my top 10. My recent experience at Kona Cafe was disappointing, but I still really enjoy the restaurant. Food, I think the food quality is very good there. The reason why I bumped it down was because when you're on the Disney dining plan, unlike, for example, any other Disney dining plan restaurant I've gone to, you've had to order the sides to go with your main meal separately from the dining plan. For example, I ordered the steak. You can tell I really like steak, but the steak didn't come with any fries or vegetables or anything. I had to order that and pay for that separately to my Disney dining plan, whereas I went there a year ago, and 2 years before that, I had everything. I don't know what they did. I don't know why they've changed this. That's why I bumped it down. I could have even put it even further down if I wanted to, but I was very disappointed with Kona Cafe this year, and I probably won't go back for the next couple of times I go. But the food quality is still great there, the sushi is good there, and the appetizers, I would say, are the best thing about that place. So, Kona Cafe, number 14. Number 13 on my list is Raglan Road over at Disney Springs. I really enjoy Raglan Road. Normally when I head over to the United States, I don't really like to eat food that I can normally get here in the UK. But there's something about Raglan Road that is more authentically Irish than British. And what I mean by that is that there's so many items on the Raglan Road menu that we won't find in the UK, despite Ireland being part of Great Britain. I think the food is fantastic. The Irish dancing is phenomenal. If you want a great night at Disney Springs, Raglan Road is where to go. Like, it has a great bar there, the food quality is great there, and the entertainment alone is really, really good. And it's not too expensive either. So Raglan Road, check it out. That's the place for a good night out at Disney Springs. Number 12 on my list is a restaurant I go to pretty much every single year, and that is Mama Melrose Italiano Restaurante over at Disney's Hollywood Studios. You must be surprised because Mama Melrose is one that really not a lot of people go to, but I would really say that this restaurant is really, really lovely, and it's charming. The theming is bizarre, weird, it feels like I'm in an episode of Friends, but the food is actually really wonderful. The steak with the 4-cheese mac and cheese, ooh, that's good stuff, and the chicken parm is great. Really, really love that. And you know, we go back to that comparison with Tony's Town Square over at Magic Kingdom. I go Mama Melrose every single time, every single time. If you're on the Disney dining plan, get the Fantasmic dining package to go with it, and then you can sit VIP for Fantasmic while having a great meal at Mama Melrose Italiano Restaurante. Number 11, missing out on my top 10, is the Edison. The Edison I really enjoyed this year. Last time I went, the Edison was a big surprise. I wanted to try a new restaurant. I think the steampunk theming is wonderful. I love it. I think it's great. And the food, simple but delicious. I had the Edison burger, really, really juicy burger, really lovely. The cast members are great in there. The mac and cheese is phenomenal there. But just the atmosphere alone, like we talk about, you know, those experiences at Disney Springs, at Splitsville, Raglan Road. The Edison is great. Stay there for the adult entertainment later on in the evening. I think they start at 10:30. Go check that out. Really wonderful stuff. Edison, big thumbs up. Number 10 on my list, coming into my top 10. Number 10, Teppan Edo. Teppan Edo was the first time I experienced this last summer. I really enjoyed Teppan Edo. I really enjoyed it. The experience was fantastic in every single sense. Just the cast members alone, the Japanese cast members who they get on the Disney representative program are wonderful. They are so welcoming. The food quality, top notch. Obviously, it's come off straight from the grill. It's like a hibachi grill. The cast member who did the hibachi was great. I really enjoyed his entertainment, his enthusiasm. The only thing I kind of wish they did more on this restaurant was they gave you a little bit more food. I think they were a little bit sort of stingy on the food. They could have given us a little bit more. I probably had maybe half a sirloin steak when I should have been given a proper sirloin steak, considering the amount of money I'm paying for this experience. But the food quality alone was still fantastic. But I think if they gave me a little bit more, then I would have had it more up on my list. Number 9 on my list is becoming a recurring one for me every single trip, and that is 50s Primetime at Disney's Hollywood Studios. 50s Primetime is your typical American comfort food with a twist, set in the 50s, with wonderful cast members. I had a great cast member this year who was so entertaining, so much fun, and yeah, I had such an amazing time. Always get the fried chicken and the peanut butter and jelly milkshake. It's lovely, it's delicious. I always come out of that restaurant so full, and it's a must-do for your Disney's Hollywood Studios experience. There's no other restaurant, I think, that can bring that Hollywood experience. So go check out 50s Primetime, it's wonderful. Number 8 on my list is Boma at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. Boma is a wonderful restaurant in the sense that not only does it have really great food, but it's friendly food, but also quite adventurous food too. The food quality is always great. You can try all different African inspired dishes as well as, you know, your typical friendly dishes as well. And I've got 2 words for you: zebra domes. Number 7 on my list was a restaurant I tried this year which I absolutely adored, and that is Whispering Canyon over at the Wilderness Lodge. Whispering Canyon is just delicious. The amount of food you get in your skillet is a huge amount, plus it's unlimited. So I always get the traditional one with the brisket and the sausage and the chicken and the ribs. Oh, and you can have as much as you want. Get the unlimited bottomless milkshakes too. You are eating bottomlessly for 2 hours. It's fantastic. The environment is great. The cast members, like 50s Primetime, are energetic. They play their part. This is Disney restauranting, you know, theming as it gets. It's great. Number 6 on my list, again a restaurant I started to really love from last year, and that is Garden Grill. We went for dinner. Garden Grill. If I think of the word food quality, this is the restaurant I think of. They literally have so many ingredients taken from Living with the Land attraction, which I think is so cool. It's a revolving restaurant, unlimited food again, with interactions with Mickey, Pluto, Chip and Dale. The food is wonderful. Food is wonderful, and the character experience. You know, you're not just meeting Mickey once or meeting Chip and Dale once, you are meeting them consistently. They come to see you all the time during your rotation around the Garden Grill. I really enjoy Garden Grill. I would go back there in a heartbeat, and for the price it is, it's totally worth it. Plus, goldfish on mac and cheese. Number 5 on my list is at Disney's Animal Kingdom, and that is the Yak and Yeti restaurant. Oh, this restaurant's great. This restaurant is so great. It's great. Yak and Yeti is a must-do every single time. I just think you compare that to Rainforest Cafe, who are owned by the same company, being Yak and Yeti is in my top 5 and Rainforest is at the bottom. There's no comparison. No comparison. I always go for the Kobe beef burger. For me, it's the best burger on property. I think people are surprised by that. For that burger, I can't even describe it. It's delicious. The seasoning they use is great. The straws, the onion straws, gives that a little bit of sweetness. Go eat at Yak and Yeti. It's delicious. Number 4 on my list is the best of the best buffets in Disney, and that is Trails End over at Fort Wilderness. Trails End by far is the greatest buffet in Disney. One, it is cheap. It is reasonable. It's like $16 to $20 a head for adults. It is cheap. It is beautifully made. The food is beyond amazing. We're not just talking about your Disney breakfast. They bring out stuff that you can't get anywhere else. The pecan bread, sticky bread, oh, it's just delicious. The potato and bacon hash, this restaurant is a must-do breakfast. It is wonderful. You can always go and get a table. It's never ever sold out. It is a nice, quaint, quiet, delicious, wonderful experience. Trails End is a must-do every single time. Come on, it's best buffet, hands down, and it's in my top 4. Number 3 on my list, we are heading over to Italia, and we are going to Via Napoli. I am not doing that impression ever again. Via Napoli, top 3, best pizza in America. And when I mean America, I mean America. I've been to New York, I've been to, Boston. I haven't been to Chicago, so I haven't had your deep dish flat pizza, and I haven't been to California. But every time I've eaten pizza in America, I've always gone back to Via Napoli. They do the best pizza. The quality reminds me a lot of Rome. I used to live in Rome. I love Rome. Being that I've eaten traditional Italian pizza, not American Italian pizza, traditional Italian pizza, this is the closest representation of Italian pizza. It is wonderful, thin crust, beautiful ingredients. The dough is perfect. Quality of food is amazing. Via Napoli, come on, go there. You don't even need to be a pizza fan. This will convert you to a pizza fan. Number 2 on my list, people might disagree with me. People might put this a little bit lower on my list, but every time I've gone, it is Disney at its best, and that is Ohana over at Disney's Polynesian Resort. Ohana is your brilliant Disney restaurant. It is notorious to be the Disney restaurant. I think the meat quality of the barbecue is wonderful with that seasoning on it, that sweet glaze. Oh, the steak and the chicken is just to die for. And then the pot stickers, the chicken wings, the noodles. Ohana, yeah, you always win me every time. And that bread pudding, best dessert on property. Ohana bread pudding. But if you know me and my channel, you will know what my favorite restaurant is on Disney property. Come on, say it with me. 1, 2, 3, Sanaa. It is Sanaa over Animal Kingdom Lodge. This is the best restaurant in Walt Disney World, hands down on every single level. I've had lunch and dinner there. I've compared them both, equally as incredible as each other. Let's not talk about the food just a second. Let's just talk about the atmosphere alone. The cast members are wonderful. They tell you a bit about the meaning of Sanaa, the creation of this restaurant. They bring you into this wonderful, beautiful looking restaurant. The atmosphere is fantastic. Sit by the window, you get to see those wonderful animals overlooking the savannah of the resort. You see zebras, you see giraffes, you see these wonderful looking birds. That alone makes it phenomenal. And then we come to the food. The bread service is just the best appetizer, the best snack, the best food item, I think, in the whole of Disney. Having all these different types of naans with all the different condiments, freshly made, minutes before it's served on the table. It is just to die for. It is wonderful. And then you have your main course where you choose a variety of different entrees you want, pretty much. You have the buttered chicken, or the braised beef, or the rice, or the chickpea stew thing, or the potatoes. Just all together, it just is amazing. For this incredible quality of food, it is wonderfully reasonable. It is by far the best restaurant in Disney World, but there are the restaurants that I would like to go to and compare it to. Well, 29 restaurants, more hopefully to try in the next couple of years. Boathouse, I've got my eyes on you. I will be trying the Boathouse soon, and some of the other famous sit-down restaurants as well. Let me know if you enjoyed the video. If you would like me to do my top how many quick service restaurants, let me know. This was so much fun. I hope you guys really enjoyed. This was only my personal opinion. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite Disney restaurant is and why. Let's keep the conversation going. Hope you guys really enjoyed that. Thank you once again to all my DIZNEYDAN members. If you are a member and not in the DIZNEYDAN Facebook membership group, send me a message on Twitter or on Instagram. And if you'd like to be a member with some amazing perks, you can look at the description box down below. Click the link. As little as $1.99 a month, you can join the DIZNEYDAN membership. Thank you once again to my partner channels, Mickey's Magic, RobFuz, Mouse Talk, and the Viapree Project. You can also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at DIZNEYDAN. Thank you so much, guys. This was so much fun. I'm hungry now. I'm gonna get some food. Live your life with a smile each and every day, and I'll see you guys all real soon. Goodbye.